Hello pals, welcome back to the channel for another episode of Ashbrook Park, episode 7, Lord of the Manor. Yes, with Little Ashwood now finished, effectively, apart from a few little bits and bobs, it's now time to look across the road to this large spot of land that will become the grounds of an English residential home, a large manor house called Ashbrook House. Ashbrook because it is built on land full of ash trees and a beautiful little brook running through the middle of it that we're making now, as you can see. Just kind of getting an idea for the shape of it. I'm going to start this episode with a little bit of terraforming, getting some basic ideas down for where things are going. This plateau here that I'm creating is going to be the site of our house, overlooking the brook and the village to the south. Now it's time to try and get a nice smooth lawn at the front. This is going to be the main footings now for our house, our manor house. Going to be slightly raised up on a little plateau above the existing plateau to allow for landscaping and gardens and beautiful views of the surrounding land. As you can see, we've now got our plateau. Imagine that you're the lord of the manor and you come out and stand here. Put your elbows on this wall and look out across the glorious lawns and gardens in front of you. England is absolutely riddled with big estates like this from all the old landowners. A lot of the old buildings are now derelict or owned by a government institution like the English Heritage or the National Trust. There you go. That's our manor lord standing there. I like this little fence I created using the vases and the hoardings. The poxy planet coaster axis. Time for a little, what do we call this? A plinth on the top of our wall. And we're now going to start creating a path that will lead out into the gardens. Making a nice thin path here, still stuck with those 4-metre paths as default, and you have to fiddle around to get something a little bit thinner. And these large paths, these large swooping paths here on the left and right of this, what do we call it, a plateau, would be where your old coach and horses would come up to bring visitors to the manor. So we're now figuring out, while building this, we were figuring out the lore for our park. We've got Little Ashwood, and we're now building Ashbrook House. Where's this theme park going to go? Well, we're going to start the theme park in, I think, 2 episodes' time. There's still a little plot of land that we have not visited yet. Trying to get smooth terrain is horrendous. It's so hard to do. But I was quite pleased. Using some little tricks here to get nice straight flat paths. There is a fair amount of this faffing around to get the landscape to lay exactly how I want it to. But we will get onto a big build in a minute. The house itself. A little bit more terraforming now and planning. As you can see, plotting where our paths are going to go. I did thoroughly enjoy doing this. Something therapeutic, very therapeutic about the terrain tool. Right, enough of that now. It's time to start building proper. And I think what we're going to build over the rest of this episode is some of my best ever work. Didn't like that window, so we went on a little search. Using these castle supports. Fabulous piece. Thank goodness for the fairy tale pack, eh? We are so lucky now with the array of pieces we have. Almost spoiled for choice now. There's almost too many pieces. Feel like I've got to do quite a bit of learning, because I'm not quite sure I'm utilising all of them. There are some colour issues with the new pieces. As we will see in a minute. The slightest alteration to the customisable colours makes a massive difference. Right, onwards and upwards. It's time to finish the rest of this first ground floor, and then we will be working on the second floor. Oh, I have a real problem with the axis again. Does not make sense to me at times, but we can cover it up. I decided here that I wanted to, if you look at any old English stately home, and they've got this old Cotswold stone that they use for the majority of the builds, you'll notice if they're still standing and in good condition, you get like this fading as the building goes up. So we tried to create this on the 3 different stories. Go on then, let's have a jig. Now we're on the 3rd floor. Are you ready? Time for the solo, here it goes. Love it. Time for the roof now. What a silly piece of music that is. Absolutely wonderful. As you can see, I'm trying to create some kind of character to this build by adding some gargoyles onto it. Gotta remember the guttering. Not using the in-game guttering this week. What's wrong with me? The in-game guttering is square. Now you'll notice with a lot of the old buildings, particularly all the old residential homes, they do have guttering on them, but they generally use like big circular lead piping on the old builds. So that's what we tried to go through for with the guttering on this building. Sorry, Frontier, I love the new guttering. Don't get rid of it. I'll use it next time, I promise. Guttering. Beautiful. Now we've got the front and the back of the building. It's just the sides to make now. I decided that I wanted to make the sides slightly different to the front and back to give a bit of variety. It's not going to be a perfectly square building. It's not going to be a perfectly symmetrical building, as a lot of these old buildings aren't. It's just finishing off the side of that there, and now we're going to build in a new design. Well, slightly different design. Just slightly changing it up. I'm really happy with how this building's turning out. Right, so now it's about changing it up slightly. We can't just have the same windows, the same designs across. It would be boring. So it's time to find a new window like these. Again, the fairy tale pack has been vital to this build. There we go. Just got to change the colours. Beautiful. Really, really chuffed with that. Now it's to do a ground floor. Got to build a little bit of a doorway in, or maybe a like a patio door kind of thing. Obviously, patio doors didn't exist with these old residential homes, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Not an official doorway, more of a door that leads out of a living room. There you go. And now copy and paste this side. And then it'll be time to start my favourite part of any build, the roof. Big roof for this one, so it's slightly challenging. Had to make it interesting as well, so well, let's have a look at what we do there. Just filling in these last few little gaps. But it's a very grand house up on the hill here. Beautiful, really, really chuffed with all of this. Done so well, I think. It's come out really nice. Much better than I was expecting. Again, just tightening up these pieces so there's no weird edges showing. Really see some of these angles and this build coming together so well now. At this stage, I was picturing, I could see what the finished article was going to look like. So the build became much easier. To start off with, I had no idea. It was just like, oh, we'll just see what happens. Can't just be a flat roof. It can't be a peak roof. We've got to be using our brains here to make it interesting. So I decided to extend these windows and have a little bit of a large room behind it. It did take me an awful long time to put this together. This house. I have noticed with Planet Coaster 2 that although I'm placing a lot more pieces, it feels like everything is slower work than in Planet Coaster 1. I think it's because there's so much more detail and it's the scaling now. It just adds that next level onto everything. Allows you to do so much more detail, so then you feel the necessity to do more detail, find new interesting ways of putting detail in, and then suddenly your time's gone. I have to say though, absolutely fabulous building game. I've been so enjoying my Planco 2 at the moment. Frontier, we did such a wonderful job, I think. Very interested to see what the next DLC will be. Well, the first proper DLC will be. I think that's what it's going to be next. We're not going to be getting any more free themes, are we? Never used this piece before in Planet Coaster 1. First time using it now. I don't know, kind of worked. Tower's nearly finished there. Time to finish our corners off. Get a little bit of detail on the corners. These didn't quite do the rotation I wanted, so I had to adjust them a little bit so we could see the windows. But these window boxes have really helped me out quickly in a pinch here with this build. Used so many of them in the end. They've got such a good texture to them. Still got a lot of roof to go though. Time to do a big central tower in the middle. But we're fast coming to the end of the episode, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this. We'll get some lovely sweeping shots of the Manor House in a minute. And the next episode, next week, will be the grounds and gardens. We have a beautiful walled garden that we've built, as well as a maze. A little bit more terrain in to finish us off, and then we'll have some nice sweeping shots of the manor for you. A lot more detail went into the building. You'll see them in the cinematics at the end. But thank you so much for being here today. It's been a real treat again. I'm thoroughly enjoying this series, and I'm hoping you're enjoying it too. Please leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the flip. Bye bye.